there exists an ocean where 1-ton giants glide in absolute silence, while 2-meter dragons lurk in reef shadows. A sea where octopuses build underwater cities, dolphins spin 7 times in the air, defying physics, and blue rays glow like living neon against golden sand. The Andaman Sea isn't just an ocean. It's the secret laboratory where nature tested its boldest, strangest, most impossible ideas. And you're about to discover why scientists call this place the aquarium of the gods. Squeezed between Burma and the volcanic arc of the Andaman Islands, this 500,000 square kilometer sea functions as liquid bridge between the Indian Ocean and the South China Sea, an evolutionary corridor where ancestral currents have transported larvae, seeds, and genetic secrets for 50 million years. Here, where 2 tectonic plates collide in geological slow motion, the ocean floor plunges to 4,400 meters in abyssal trenches before exploding vertically into underwater mountains covered by coral forests that have never seen direct sunlight. Tropical monsoons alternate in precise cycles. Southwest winds bring 5 meters of rain between May and October, while the dry northeast from November to April transforms turbulent waters into turquoise glass mirrors, where visibility reaches 40 meters depth. Temporal windows revealing entire universes pulsating in synchrony with lunar tides. When dawn breaks over the Andaman Sea, 10,000 silver needles, Tylosaurus crocodilus, materialize from nowhere like liquid ghosts synchronized in absolute precision. Each fish maintains exactly 17 centimeters distance from its neighbor. Dancing geometries that confuse predators and hypnotize prey. The school has no leader. 10,000 brains vote democratically every fraction of a second. Collective decisions happening faster than human thought can process. When a shark attacks, the formation explodes into fractal patterns and reforms itself 100 meters away in 3 seconds, as if teleported. Bodies of 1 meter 20 centimeters accelerate, generating 6 times the force of gravity. Jaws pierce scales without losing speed. Design that inspires military underwater missiles. One fish detects vibration at 200 meters, transmits chemically through skin, and in seconds the entire armada reorganizes into lethal cone that traps sardines against the surface. High-speed footage reveals simultaneous movements in fish, separated by 50 meters. Synchronization, defying known laws of neural communication. Science still doesn't completely understand how this works. But while these needles dominate through absolute numbers, other inhabitants chose the opposite path. Solitude armed to the teeth. Emerging from caves where it spent 12 hours motionless as a statue, the spotted unicorn fish, Naso brevirostris, glides between corals with frontal horn that scientists still cannot completely explain. No theory closes all gaps about why this fish has carried a bony lance on its forehead for 40 million years. With 60 centimeters of blue-bronze elegance, this herbivore devours 3 kilograms of algae daily, preventing vegetation from suffocating slow-growing corals. Without it, the reef would die in months. Dominant males lead harems of 7 females, patrolling 500 square meters. They know with the intimacy of someone living at the same address for 15 consecutive years. Researchers tagged individuals that returned to the same specific coral for over a decade. Spatial memory rivaling terrestrial elephants. During full moon, males swim vertically, releasing bioluminescent sperm that transforms the nocturnal reef into underwater galaxy. Females choose partners by choreographic precision of flights. The more perfect the spiral, the greater chance of copulation. The frontal horn hide's recently discovered secret. Sensory channels detect electric fields from muscles through rocks and sand, transforming each unicorn into living radar that sees the invisible. But this peaceful gardener shares territory with assassin that transformed patience into lethal weapon. After feeding, it returns exactly to the same sea fen for 7 consecutive years. Territorial fidelity, suggesting complex temporal memory. But this dragon, however terrifying, would never attack gentle giant grazing meters below. In grass meadows that undulate like liquid savannas, 400 kilograms of impossibility float with ballerina lightness. The dugong, defies expectations about aquatic elegance, while flipper hands caress vegetation with pianist delicacy. This mammal descended from terrestrial herbivores, similar to elephants, developed each marine adaptation independently from whales. Evolutionary convergence proving few optimal solutions exist for oceanic life. Muscular lips selectively pluck nutritious leaves, rejecting sediment. Neuromuscular coordination comparable to human hands manipulating delicate objects. Recent tests suggest mirror recognition and self-awareness. Females nurse calves vertically holding babies with flippers, in embrace that ancient sailors confused with women cradling children. Thus were born mermaid legends based on real observation, distorted by oceanic loneliness. Milk contains 10% fat. Each feeding adds 2 kilograms to calf weekly during 18 uninterrupted months. Investment explaining why decimated populations take human generations to recover. Adult females return to natal meadows to interact with octogenarian mothers, transmitting knowledge about roots through subsonic vocalizations traveling kilometers. Animal culture in full sense. But while this gentle giant grazes with Buddhist patience, aerial acrobats above defy physics. Water explodes when spinner dolphin, Stenella longarostris, pierces surface spinning 7 times before re-entry, generating sound audible at 3 kilometers. Acoustic communication, informing entire pod about location and emotional state through 3-dimensional body language. Kilogram cetaceans execute acrobatics that should dislocate vertebrae, but specialized spine absorbs impact through discs filled with incompressible gel. Bioengineering that orthopedists study for human hernia treatments. Each dolphin possesses unique vocal signature functioning as proper name, nickname that mother invents during first week of life remaining unchanged for decades. Capacity to refer specifically to absent friends during conversations. During nocturnal hunts at 300 meters, where temperature drops to 4 degrees, pod emits ultrasonic clicks, mapping bioluminescent squid 3-dimensionally with resolution superior to medical magnetic resonance. Detecting 10-centimeter prey at distances of 2 football fields through absolute darkness. Specific friendships persist 30 years, mutual recognition surviving decades of separation through acoustic memory. Dolphins recall voices like humans remember childhood. Pregnant females receive escort from non-relative midwives, forming barrier against sharks during birth. Altruism challenging evolutionary models based purely on genetic benefit. Recently, drones captured never-documented tradition. Dolphins using sponges as gloves during bottom excavation. Culture transmitted exclusively by specific matriarchal lineage. But these agile mammals share currents with even larger shadows. When partial eclipse blocks sun over reef, instinct screams danger, but reality is opposite. Reef manta ray, Mobula alfredi, with 5-meter wingspan, glides majestically filtering 200 kilograms of water per minute. Mouth in permanent O, capturing 98% of plankton larger than ½ millimeter through technology that engineers study for industrial purification. A 1,400-kilogram giant cannot stop. Dense cartilage would make it negatively buoyant if it ceased movement, condemning it to sink to depths where pressure would crush organs. Existence of perpetual motion, from birth to death spanning decades. Cephalic lobes adjust like funnels directing currents precisely as plankton density varies. Hydrodynamic control permitting hunting in oligotrophic waters, seemingly insufficient for such massive creature. Intelligence surprises. Highest brain-to-body mass ratio among elasmobranchs. Pass mirror test indicating self-awareness. Approach divers with genuine curiosity instead of hunger. Behavior classified as cognitive play. Unique ventral patterns permitted tracking individuals for 23 years, revealing fidelity to cleaning stations where they return monthly for 8-hour sessions, floating vertically in meditative trance while fish remove parasites. Males pursue female in trains of 10 competitors, culminating in aerial copulation. Winner grabs fin with jaws while both leap 3 meters, transferring sperm during 5-second free fall. But not all beauty comes in giant scale. Against golden sand, electric blue spots look like sky fragments fallen. Blue-spotted ribbon-tail ray, Tyanura lima, transformed camouflage into art, unique pattern, like chromatic fingerprint that scientists photograph for lifetime identification. This 70-centimeter jewel demonstrates territorial obsession, returns to same shelter for 12 years even after capture and relocation 5 kilometers offshore. Navigation suggesting magnetoreception with error margin under 2 meters. Biological GPS of surgical precision. During dusk, 15 individuals form cooperative excavation line. Behavior-defying dogma of exclusively solitary rays and revealing underestimated social intelligence in cartilaginous fish. Spine venom contains neurotoxic peptides, causing paralysis in fish, but only localized pain in mammals. Chemical specificity evidencing selective pressure from piscivorous predators over millions of years. Toxin sculpted for specific audience. Male pursues female for hours in ascending spirals, synchronizing fin beats in dance, culminating when both bury themselves in sand for 60-second copulation, determining genetics of 7 pups gestated 4 months. Newborns emerge rolled, expanding instantly into perfect miniatures, already equipped with camouflage and excavation behavior requiring no learning. Instinctive program guaranteeing independent survival from minute zero. Telemetry reveals activity increasing 90% after sunset. Rhythm minimizing encounters with diurnal predators while maximizing capture of worms emerging nocturnally. Temporal niche, as important as spatial. But these delicate jewels share bottoms with far more dangerous hunter. Crawling invisible in perfect camouflage, merging with sand, spotted eagle ray, Etubatus narinari, is patient assassin with 2 meters of rhomboidal muscle and 300 kilograms of benthic lethality. Whiptail armed with 6 serrated venomous spines, pronounced snout ideal for excavating buried mollusks. Unlike filter-feeding mantas, this carnivore possesses dental plates crushing shells with 800 newtons. Pressure pulverizing human finger bones, but applied against calcareous architecture, evolved millions of years to resist predation. Archaeological strategy. Flies low using ampullae of Lorenzini, detecting minuscule electric fields from prey muscles buried 30 centimeters below. Sensors locating invisible clams with surgical precision. Electrical anomaly detected, dives vertically burying snout completely using fins as shovels, while water jets from gills remove sediments, technique exposing prey in seconds with no time for escape. Dental plates constantly renew, presenting tessellated hexagonal pattern, uniformly distributing pressure, preventing fractures during crushing of resistant shells. Bioengineering inspiring industrial tools. Embryos develop internally, fed by protein-rich uterine milk, nourishing pups until complete maturity. Female birthing 4 young of 40 centimeters, already with functional venom. Inherited chemical defense against sharks that painfully learned attacking rays results in necrotic wounds persisting weeks. But despite formidable arsenal, faces critical decline. Trawl nets capture millions annually, as bycatch devastating populations faster than slow reproduction compensates. While this hunter excavates sandy banquets, Blue Titan patrols vertical walls, patrolling walls like floating fortress of blue turquoise flesh. Humphead wrasse, Chilenus undulatus, of 190 kilograms, commands respect through physical presence belonging to previous geological era. Species crossed 25 million years, virtually unchanged. Living witness of oceans that saw continents reorganize. Frontal protuberance grows proportionally to age. Centenary patriarchs exhibit humps, altering swimming hydrodynamics, forcing compensatory musculature, transforming elders into biological tanks, crushing shells resisting human hammers. Jaws exert 1,000 newtons through biomechanical levers, amplifying muscle contraction in 10-to-1 proportion. Pressure focused on canines projecting like tusks, permitting feeding on venomous urchins, toxic cucumbers, and armored gastropods. Diet eliminating competition for resources. Food processing is refined brutality. Sucks entire prey, chews with pharyngeal plates in throat, second set of jaws hypertrophied without parallel, expelling shell fragments through gills while absorbing proteins. All born female, but between 5 and 7 years dominant individuals transform irreversibly into males through hormonal cascade restructuring gonads, behavior and coloration. Sexual flexibility, permitting dynamic adaptation to demographic fluctuations. During full moon, males pulse electric blue waves through body. Communication, including ultraviolet component invisible to humans, but perceptible to other humpheads. Secret spectrum operating under our noses during entire history of marine biology. Slow growth and late maturation make vulnerable. Populations require generations for recovery, time that illegal markets don't grant. But in coral shadows, metamorphosis masters prosper. In recesses where light becomes distant memory, common octopus, Octopus vulgaris, demonstrates intelligence-defying categorization in vertebrate-centered schemes. 8 arms with 1,600 independent suckers, distributed brain with 2/3 of 500 million neurons residing in appendages thinking autonomously, camouflage system transforming skin into screen-reproducing textures and colors in 300 milliseconds. A 10-kilogram mollusk solves complex problems through surprisingly rapid trial and error. Confronted with sealed jar containing crab, observes seconds, rotates methodically locating lid, unscrews using trilateral coordination, requiring three-dimensional spatial planning and functional memory. Strictly nocturnal solitary hunter emerges from dens only after complete darkness, navigating through monocular vision. Each eye moves independently, and chemoreception through suckers literally tasting surfaces upon touching, constructing chemical tactile map of invisible world. During hunt approaches with arms undulating hypnotically resembling algae until exploding in coordinated attack, enveloping victim in inescapable embrace, while horny beak pierces carapace injecting paralyzing venom-rich encephalotoxins, capacity to escape through minuscule fissures. Any opening larger than 2-centimeter beak is navigable. Transforms octopuses into Houdini's infiltrating lobster traps, devouring contents and escaping before fishermen return. Males transfer sperm through arm detaching and remaining in female's cavity, continuing to release gametes autonomously. Ambulatory sexual organ functioning independently after body separation. Females deposit 100,000 eggs, dedicating exclusively to parental care, during 2 months refusing feeding, constantly aerating, and fiercely defending. Suicidal motherhood, culminating in starvation death after hatching. But if octopuses are Einsteins among invertebrates, squid take speed to even more impressive extremes. Pulsing like biological torpedoes with jet propulsion, big-fin reef squid, Sepioteuthis lesoniana, demonstrate perfect hydrodynamics. 50-centimeter fusiform bodies propelled by siphon-expelling water, generating instantaneous acceleration from 0 to 40 kilometers per hour, permitting explosive hunting and evasive escape. Gregarious cephalopods form schools operating as superorganisms, coordinating synchronized attacks through visual signals via chromatophores. Neurally controlled pigment cells, permitting changes in fractions of seconds, creating chromatic waves, functioning as complex visual language. Each individual possesses 35 distinct body patterns in specific contexts. Vertical stripes during territorial aggression. Dotted spots foraging calmly. Silver iridescence in courtship. Mottled camouflage when predators approach. Vocabulary exceeding communication of many vertebrates. During mating, males compete through chromatic displays and combats, intertwining tentacles spurting black ink. Secretion, rich in melanin and mucus, obscuring vision, and irritating chemoreception simultaneously as smokescreen and chemical weapon. Winners copulate transferring spermatophores, sperm packets, that males implant in mantle cavity, sometimes inserting multiple packets, overcoming rivals' sperm in post-copulatory competition. Eggs in gelatinous masses adhered to rocks hatch, after 3 weeks releasing translucent 5 mm paralarvae already equipped with camouflage and propulsion. Perfect miniaturizations facing mortality exceeding 99% during first planktonic weeks. Intelligence in laboratory tests impresses. Solve complex mazes. Learn observing conspecifics. Exhibit memory persisting months. Unexpected capacities in organisms whose common ancestor with humans lived 600 million years ago. But close cousins prefer more subtle strategies. Gliding over bottoms with retracted tentacles and flattened body perfectly mimicking substrates, giant cuttlefish, Sepia apama, are masters of visual deception, transforming camouflage into evolutionary art. Chromatophores, leucophores, and iridophores work coordinately, producing patterns not only matching colors, but replicating three-dimensional textures through muscular contraction, creating dermal protuberances looking exactly like adjacent rocks or corals. With 50 centimeters and 3 kilograms, these are largest known cuttlefish exhibiting sexual dimorphism, where males develop spectacular nuptial coloration, pulsating waves of brown, white, and purple traversing body in hypnotic sequences, competing for attention from less ornamented females. Reproductive strategy is complex theater. Large males aggressively defend females, but genetic studies reveal 40% of offspring resulting from sneaky copulations by small males adopting female pattern-approaching couples without provoking aggression, rapidly transferring spermatophores, while dominant distracts fighting competitors. Sexual transvestitism functioning surprisingly well. Females exercise cryptic post-copulatory choice through sperm selection within spermathecae, organs where sperm from multiple males coexists, utilizing unknown criteria but favoring genetic diversity over physical dominance. Hunting involves slow approach, maintaining perfect camouflage, followed by explosive attack with tentacles equipped with denticulated suckers, capturing victim in milliseconds. Movement faster than humans process, visually appearing in high-speed camera as blur materializing prey already captured. Cuttlefish exhibit passing cloud. Dark waves traversing body surface, possibly functioning as distraction-confusing prey or preparatory neuromuscular coordination. After laying, females adhere eggs, carefully remaining guardians for days, cleaning with jets and warding off predators. Rare maternal care, but justified by massive investment in energetically costly eggs. But while cephalopods dominate through mobile intelligence, Other invertebrates conquered through radical simplicity. Anchored permanently like carnivorous flowers that will never know mobility, sea anemones, order Actiniaria, represent evolutionary paradox. Sessile predators whose undulating tentacles armed with nematocysts capture mobile prey through geological patience and lethal chemistry. Nematocysts are microscopic, stinging cells functioning as poisoned harpoons triggered instantaneously by touch or chemical signal. Mechanism so fast it fires in 700 nanoseconds, among fastest movements in animal kingdom. With diameters varying from 2 centimeters in miniature to meter and half in deep water giants, cnidarians colonize all habitats from tidal pools to oceanic abysses, adapting through symbioses with zooxanthellae algae residing in tissues performing photosynthesis, providing 90% of energetic needs in exchange for shelter and nitrogenous nutrients. Anatomical simplicity is deceptive. Despite lacking centralized brain exhibit coordinated behaviors through diffuse nervous network permitting rapid contraction when threatened, chemical recognition of prey versus detritus, and territorial competition where individuals extend specialized tentacles loaded with 10-fold higher nematocyst concentrations, chemically warring against invading neighbors. Reproduction defies categorization. Some are hermaphrodites releasing gametes in water. Others reproduce asexually through fission, dividing into 2 clones. Certain viviparous incubate embryos releasing formed juveniles. Diversity, permitting persistence, 500 million years virtually morphologically unchanged. Relationship with clownfish became icon, but real biology surpasses fiction. Fish develop tolerance, covering themselves with anemone mucus, stealing chemical identity, preventing triggering of stinging cells. Molecular disguise permitting permanent residence among lethal tentacles. Giants host 12 different species creating complex ecological communities. Biodiversity oases in surrounding deserts. Longevity exceeds 100 years, with specimens surviving 150 years in captivity, suggesting potential biological immortality. While anemones occupy limited space, other echinoderms explore vastnesses. Crawling with proverbial slowness through coral gardens, sea stars, class Asteroidea, defy expectations through five-pointed radial symmetry, eliminating concepts of front and back. Any arm can lead locomotion, conferring directional flexibility that bilateral organisms never achieve. Unique water vascular system utilizes hydraulic pressure operating hundreds of tube feet. Tubular extensions equipped with suckers adhering through mechanical vacuum and chemical adhesive secretions, permitting vertical climbing and prey grasping with force exceeding adductor muscle resistance of bivalves, opening shells that humans struggle separating with tools. When sea star locates buried oyster through chemoreception, detecting organic compounds from respiration positions itself, initiating attrition battle lasting hours. Feet constantly pull shells in opposite directions, while muscles resist, but fatigue eventually opens microscopic gap, less than 1 millimeter, sufficient to avert stomach through central mouth, inserting digestive organ directly inside, secreting proteolytic enzymes, liquefying living tissues, permitting extracellular absorption. Arm regeneration lost to predators not only restores appendages, but in some species permits separated fragment with portion of central disc to develop into completely new individual. Asexual reproduction through autotomy, resulting in spatially dispersed clones. Diversity impresses, from diminutive 2-centimeter species to subarctic giants with wingspan exceeding 1 meter, inhabiting from intertidal zones to abyssal depths of 6,000 meters. Adaptability placing among most evolutionarily successful groups. Certain species became pests. Crown of thorns experiences, population explosions where millions consume corals, faster than they grow, devastating entire reefs, in events permanently altering community structure. While sea stars crawl, relatives developed even more extreme defenses, transformed into ambulatory fortresses, prioritizing defense over mobility. Sea urchins, class Echinoidea, navigate bottoms protected by arsenals of calcified spines, varying from delicate 5-millimeter needles to 30-centimeter venomous lances in diadema-piercing flesh, with surgical ease injecting neurogenic pain-causing toxins persisting days. Beneath armor hides globular body, composed of calcified plates fused into rigid test. Endoskeleton growing through incremental calcium carbonate addition, recording history in rings similar to terrestrial trees. Locomotion occurs through modified tube feet, pulling spherical body across irregular terrain, while spines articulated on mobile bases permit auxiliary walking. Biomechanics combining hydraulic systems with levers in unparalleled design. On underside mouth equipped with Aristotle's lantern, 5 self-sharpening calcified teeth, radially arranged controlled by 60 individual muscles, scrapes algae, chews corals, excavates tunnels in limestone where certain species permanently reside, growing too large to escape self-excavated prisons. Intensive herbivory regulates community structure. In healthy reefs, predators control populations maintaining balance. But when overfishing removes predators, explosions convert algal forests into deserts through uncontrolled grazing. Regime shifts persisting decades even after restoration. Reproduction involves synchronized release during massive full moon-triggered events, with females releasing 20 million eggs and males dumping sperm so dense it tinges water milky white. Strategy: saturating planktonic predators through abundance, guaranteeing survival of small but numerically sufficient percentage. Development traverses Pluteus stage, bilateral planktonic form with arms supported by calcareous spicules, increasing sinking resistance, before dramatic metamorphosis into juvenile with radial symmetry involving complete body axis reorganization, in process still intriguing biologists. And thus, from smallest urchin to largest humphead, each creature of this sea writes chapter in the planet's most complex evolutionary history. In the Andaman Sea, each dive reveals universe-defying everything we thought we knew about intelligence, beauty, and survival. Liquid theater, where each actor masters role written by 400 million years of evolutionary rehearsals. If these waters touched something inside you, mark your presence through like and subscription. Because the more witnesses these worlds have, the greater chance they'll still exist when your grandchildren learn to dive. The Ocean Guard's secrets we'll never finish discovering, and every second counts.